Welcome to Decipher Their Ways. This is a new channel. We'll be talking to all kinds of people and about all kinds of different things. First up, we have Chad Kultgen, very famous for his podcast Dudesy. Other podcasts, written many books. Thank you for being a part of the first session here. Decipher Their Ways. Let's do it.
Connecting the dots, right?
Okay.
So, we're talking heavy stuff here. Can we just ask you some questions?
Please.
Okay, so do you think humanity will have access to free energy in the near future?
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel that it's already here, man. We just need access to it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's already here or not. We are still obviously, just strapped with like a dependence on fossil fuels. Now that has a lot to do with financial models and the kind of like monetary systems that govern all of this bullshit, and companies that are in control of our energy sources wanting to maintain that control, blah blah blah. It has a lot to do with that. But do you know the Kardashev scale? Are you familiar with that?
No, what's up?
It was this he was a Russian, I believe, cosmologist and philosopher who came up with this scale about the various levels of like societies on a planet. So
Okay.
level 0, I think, is what we are, or maybe we're level 1, but it basically goes from being able to harness the energy, being able to harness no energy from your planet, which is kind of where we are, to harnessing the energy of your planet itself, like the heat and stuff that's coming out of the core.
Right.
That's level 1. I think I could be wrong about this. But I think I am accurate to it. The next level is harnessing all the energy from the star at the core of your solar system, and then the next level is harnessing all the energy from your galaxy. And so we are very early in that scale, meaning we can harness almost no energy from our planet. We're still using fossil fuels. We have a limited ability to get solar energy, wind power, hydrothermal energy, things of this nature. Once we get up to that next level, I think, where we're harnessing shit coming out of the Earth's core, that's a different story. Who controls that? I don't know. Are we going to have to pay for it? I don't know. But I agree with you. I think, one of the biggest steps toward having an advanced civilization, is not only having free energy, but having free everything.
For sure.
Money shouldn't exist. We have to get to a point where money doesn't exist.
Absolutely. And also the ether, because we can pull from the ether, right?
Sure.
And power houses, power cars. Let's get into another one. I know you don't have too much time, right?
I'm good. You
Right.
guys are my last one. I know that you have to go to work, so I want to be respectful of your time as well.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
I have another heavy one. Cloning centers of people in Hollywood, famous people. What do you think about clones in Hollywood, man?
Love it. Clone everybody. Clone us all. I'm down. Clone me.
Yeah.
Give me 10 clones of myself. I could use them.
Yeah, I could use them at work right now.
We all could. I have no problem with cloning, genetic manipulation, restructuring the human DNA sequence. I don't care. Do it all. We've been living in this fucking shitty design of a meat sack for how long at this point? I guess Homo sapiens are what, million years, something like this.
Yeah.
We get cancer, we die of old age, we get hit by fucking cars and die, whatever. Get rid of it. Give me something completely new, something that's impervious to illness, that does not age, that cannot be destroyed. I'm ready for it.
Okay. Let's hit with another one, man. What do you think about self-assembling technology in the labs? You able to speak about that?
I've seen some things about this. You're talking about like nanobots in the right?
Correct.
I don't think that's real. To each their own. Whatever you believe, you believe. For me personally, I don't think it's real. But I am very interested in nanotechnology because I think it's nanotechnology, robotics, AI. These are kind of like the new nuclear, chemical, biological type sciences of this era, I feel like. And they're all going to kind of come together, I think, in a confluence that is going to make some incredible shit. Like when you have already we're seeing like humanoid kind of assistant robots that Boston Dynamics is making. Those things are going to be on the market within the next like 2 or 3 years. You're going to have a fucking 4-foot tall robot in your goddamn house who's cooking you eggs in the morning. Like that's going to fucking happen. And then once that robot can have nanotech robots as part of what it is capable of doing, it can do so much more. And I do think nanotech medical therapies where you could potentially, like, let's say you've got a tumor somewhere in your fucking body. And instead of having to go through chemotherapy and radiation and all this shit, let's say that you can, at a cellular level, inject a swarm of nanobots to go in and literally cut that tumor out and fucking vaporize it.
For
So
sure.
now it's like medicine becomes kind of like physical medicine instead of chemical medicine or surgery or whatever, or nanosurgery, I guess you could call it. I'm down for that shit.
Are you familiar with med beds?
This is some sci-fi thing, right?
Well,
Where you just lay down and it scans your body and like,
is it sci-fi? So,
you tell me.
for example, if you need a limb regrown, there's these beds
Yeah.
that supposedly currently are around that we don't have access to, that can regrow limbs, etc. Man, yeah,
Who has access to this?
that's the thing. So it's not us. I mean, what? How do we
Just
grasp
smoke
these?
some marijuana. Everything will grow right back.
That's Gainabus. Gain your arm back.
Yeah,
Brother.
Dude, this is all I would say to that. It's like anytime we hear about like, oh well, only the rich and powerful, the elite have access to these like certain medical things or certain technologies or whatever. It's like, yeah, but the rich and the elite all fucking die of cancer and old age and shit too.
Yeah.
If they really have the ability to heal themselves, why aren't they fucking doing it?
well, maybe Queen Elizabeth, for example, hops to different bodies.
Dude, I would love that shit. Whose body is Queen Elizabeth in now?
Yeah, man, I'm just telling you.
Somewhere.
She hopped into Timothy Chalamet.
So let's see. Can I hit you with another one? You ready? Ready for another one?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Bring them.
So, what do you say about possible huge holograms of an alien invasion in the skies in the future?
Right now, I think no shot. Sorry, what do you got, Brian? What'd you say?
That's like the Project Blue Beam or something, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the government. I'll tell you this, dude. When this was like a couple years ago, the Gateway project, all that fucking shit came out. Did you guys follow that at all?
No.
Yeah. It's like a deep meditation to talk to like beings and other planets.
It's essentially like training for astral projection, so you can leave your body and like see other shit around the world or whatever, right? So somebody filed a FOIA request to get access to what this actually was. And these fucking documents came out. These are like US Army and I believe CIA. It was like a joint investigation into this thing. And they found that yes, indeed, this process works. There are other dimensions, and this process allows you to tap into them. When that shit came out, I was like, I'm sorry, what? The United States government is putting fucking money and time into astral projection research, and they found out it's fucking real. At that point, I was like, oh, they're doing all kinds of crazy shit. Project Bluebeam, absolutely. Are they trying to put fucking holograms in the sky? Absolutely. Are they going to be successful at it? I have no fucking idea. Like, that seems unlikely to me, but I think the government just throws money at weird projects all the time, especially in the military space, especially in the like population control space. I think that shit's constantly going on. Whether or not it's successful, I don't know, because all we can know about is the shit that's like getting to us. So are they controlling like social media, mainstream media, all that? Probably. You can see evidence of that, I think, in everything you watch. But are they putting holograms in the sky? Not yet, I don't think. I mean, maybe, but I don't think.
Right.
In chat, did you see like the new reports that came out of the scientists that checked out the alien bodies and they found that it's one singular skeleton?
Yeah,
actually a living being.
I saw that too, but it's like that guy Jaime Maussan has brought those alien bodies out before, and they've already been debunked. They've like penetrated their bodies and found that the shit on the outside of them is synthetic glue made to look like skin. Like they
Toilet
are
paper.
definitely, yeah, basically they're toilet paper. Basically, I don't think those things are real fucking at all. The only question is he manufacturing them to trick people, or was he tricked by someone else? I don't know.
Yeah, heavy stuff, man. I'm glad you're able to talk about this type of stuff, man, because I felt maybe you're gonna be shy or just turn off the Zoom and like, oh, screw these guys, I got a rep to.
What? Hell no, dude. I love talking about this shit. I love it. This is the shit that I'm like thinking about on a constant basis.
Yeah.
This is where Will will be like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Will would have busted into an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation and steamrolled this whole conversation by now.
Yeah.
Steamrolled it.
Yeah.
But one day we're gonna have a duty on the moon when we get our starship ready. Have our hotel out
Dude,
there. You guys come visit.
what do you?
All the big parts. Yeah.
That's cool, dude. I can only assume that you guys have seen some shit in space, maybe some UFOs or something like that. There's got to be some internal fucking videos floating around. Huh?
We'll see. We'll let the other whistleblowers come out first, and then
Yeah. Well,
make sure they
dude,
don't get suicided.
there were 10 new videos just dropped yesterday, the day before, I think, from Border Patrol. They have a bunch of these weird like
Yeah.
fucking radar videos of all these UFOs, and one of them that is like fucking flying 100 miles an hour and just like dips into the water and then fucking comes back out, and you're like, what the
Without
fuck is
slowing
that?
down at all.
Yeah,
Insane.
it's nuts. I think we're getting like we're getting closer to some real kind of disclosure, I think.
For sure.
With the government like coming out with a real picture of an alien or something. I think like the reason that it's taking this long, although it's weird. Like I guess those first videos came out in 2017, was that New York Times article where the Pentagon and the DoD and the Navy were like, here's this video is a real UFO. We don't know what the fuck it is. The video is authentic. And then that kind of went away. It came out and went away. And then within, I believe, 3 months after that first article that came out, this was during Trump's presidency, the Space Force was funded fully to the tune of, I believe it was some 1 point something trillion dollars. And it was unanimous vote across party lines in the fucking Senate. So the shit came out. The Senate had a briefing with the heads of all the military organizations about UFOs. And then 2 months later, Space Force is made. And everybody's like, yep, give them all the money they need. I'm like, they saw some shit. They know some shit. And I think that the government is like more scared. I think the government is not scared of like public reaction to knowing that aliens are real. I think they're more scared of the fact that they've been lying to us for fucking 80 years about that and doing a deep, deep fucking cover operation to try and reverse engineer UFOs. They have alien bodies, they have alien craft, and you just have to kind of like be very vigilant, I guess, about reading the news about it, because a little thing gets dropped here and there. Like that first article at that time, there was this guy, Harry Reid, who was the Senate minority leader when he was in Congress. That fucker said in this New York Times article, he personally earmarked $20 million for black site operations that have UFOs, crash UFOs in hangars. He said that in the fucking New York Times. And people are just like, whatever, next. My gas prices are too high. I'm like, dude, there's fucking aliens walking among us. What's going on here? Fucking gas prices. Anyway, I digress.
In Antarctica, supposedly there's a mothership. You ever heard about that?
Yes, dude. I've heard about that. I've heard about the secret bases that we supposedly have down there. And supposedly there was a thing where we sent like a fleet of fucking Navy personnel in to be like, what the fuck's down here? And they never came back. All that shit.
Yeah.
I've looked into all these conspiracies, and it's like the door is now open. The United States government and many other global governments have all unilaterally said UFOs are real, and they're starting to leak out their video footage of them, some evidence of it. That door is open. Now we get to walk into the fucking room. And in that room is everything from this UFO is real to fucking Richard Nixon took Jackie Gleason to see a fucking alien body at an Air Force base in Houston. Everything in between, like the craziest shit you've ever heard, all the crazy conspiracy theories are in that same room as here's a real UFO video. I don't know what of any of this shit is real, but I know that we now have to ask that question again about all these fucking crazy stories. Antarctica base, is it real? I don't fucking know, but I now know UFOs are real, which means that has a better chance of being real than it did.
For sure.
Fucking 5 years ago or whatever.
That's a good one.
Anyway.
Also,
that's my
there's word that under Dulce, New Mexico and Denver, Colorado, there's some big bases there too.
supposedly under the Denver airport, and they point to all these fucking things like there's a statue of a horse outside the Denver airport that looks like Satan.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
seen
yeah.
any of this shit?
Oh
It's
yeah,
got these
yeah, yeah,
crazy like glowing red eyes and shit, and there's like a big mural inside the Denver airport
yeah,
that is like apocalyptic basically, and they're like,
yeah.
what is this fucking weird shit? Why is this here? And you have some a couple of people have talked about building that airport, that they saw the underground thing where they're holding alien bodies. One guy even claims to have gotten in a firefight with aliens and got shot in the chest by an alien fucking space ray or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of that's true, but again, it seems more true now than it did 5 years ago.
Okay, how about this one, man? 9/11 and the movie Back to the Future, and um,
Whoa, I haven't heard this shit at all.
oh man, so there's references in Back to the Future, about six heavy ones, about 9/11. Of course, way before it ever happened. So
Hmm.
you go back to the movie and you check out how something happens at the Twin Tower Mall, and it's by terrorists. And then in later on, you have two towers collapsing within the movie. And there's just several references. There's a 9 o'clock, and then the screeching of the tires creates two flames. So you have 9 o'clock and the two flames, and on fire,
Huh.
etc.,
Interesting.
etc. So predictive
Oh,
programming.
oh yeah, I'll go back and check that out for sure. I mean, I will say, like, the idea of terrorists destroying the Twin Towers, that has been something that the government has been worried about for a long time, and something that was very much in the public knowledge as like a possibility even back then. So I'm not sure if it was like predictive necessarily, or if it was more reactive to something that was kind of just in the zeitgeist. I know
Mm.
there was an episode of the X-Files had a spin-off show that I forget the name of, but it was about the three like science nerds that Scully and Mulder would sometimes go to help them solve cases.
Mm.
It was like the Ruffians or something. I forget what it was fucking called, but they had a whole episode that was basically 9/11. It was like terrorists were about to fly fucking planes into the World Trade Center, and they had to
Yeah.
figure out how to stop it basically. Um, and that was way before 9/11, obviously.
I,
So like that idea has been around for a while.
I
But
could be wrong, but the first pilot episode of X Files was about the Twin Towers.
oh shit, maybe it was, yeah.
Well, fellas,
Man,
I gotta get going, but I want
Oh
to
shit.
see. Last little question: If can you give us a little description of Dudesy Pod Show? What's it about?
Oh yeah, it's a podcast that I do with my buddy Will Sasso, who's a actor by trade, but he's like a super funny fucking guy, and it's run by an artificial intelligence that has access to all of our personal data. So we basically like give it access to our Google Drives and our Instagrams and all this shit, and it can see everything that we read or watch or buy, and it kind of tailors the show to our like sense of humor, and all it kind of like reference shit that's going on in our life based on what we're sending each other emails about or whatever, what we buy on eBay, shit like that. It's fucking wild, man. And it seems to be getting like I don't know. The dudesy AI seems to be getting like more human. At least it seems that way to me. The longer that the show is going on, it's very fucking strange, but I'm having a good time with it.
It's quickly becoming the best wrestling / anime podcast out there as well, simultaneously.
Right, right. And we have a lot of competition in that field, right? There are like millions of wrestling anime podcasts.
So good. Well, I'll let you guys continue. Get us
All right,
off
man.
this burning fucking rock. All right, you guys.
all right, Pete.
Have a good
All
one.
right,
brother.
pleasure meeting you, man.
Pleasure meeting you, Chad.
So that was the first episode of Decipher Waves. We got more coming up, more crazy people. It's gonna be a cool ride. Decipher Waves, round one.